in Air India, even before you face your real interviewer, you will be assessed by an AI. So if you have received your invite to Air India HALLO Assessment, this video is exactly for you. Hello everyone, my name is Adira Rajendran and I do make videos on cabin crew lifestyle, and more importantly, I help candidates land in their dream job. So this video, I am going to talk about the HALLO Assessment of Air India. So if you are planning to apply for Air India, or you have already applied and received an invite to this particular assignment, stay with me till the end, because I am going to give you all the information that you require to ace your interview, ace your assessment and clear it. So without much ado, let's begin the video. The first question is, what is this HALLO Assessment? So HALLO Assessment is basically an AI-driven virtual assessment for cabin crew applicants, which is recently introduced by Air India. It is a 25 minutes test where the cabin crew applicants will be assessed on their situational awareness, communication, cognitive skills, and all the skills which are very crucial for their role as a cabin crew. It is actually a virtual screening test so that the actual interviewer has not have to do a lot of work screening the people. This virtual screening is being employed by almost all the airlines now. It has already been there in Etihad, Emirates, Riyadh, all these airlines, and most of the airlines in India also have come up with this kind of a virtual screening test where you drop your CV, and the first thing will be they will give you an invite for this virtual screening. Once you pass that, then you will be invited to the actual interview venue. So that is it, and this whole screening or this assessment will be having 3 segments. It has a segment where you have to record your answer. It also has a time session where you have to pick from multiple choices questions, answer from multiple choice questions as well. So all these tests will be timed. So time is a major concern with almost all the applicants that I have seen. You have to really practice before you actually go into your interview, so that you have to have a fair good amount of idea about what to expect in the interview. Then only you can be spontaneous and give the answer. If you're going to the interview without knowing anything about it, then you need time to think, and when you think about things, your time will be lost because it is a timed session. So first segment will be situational awareness questions where you have to record your answer. So the question can come from the personal stuffs or maybe cabin crew job as well. So they usually ask you questions like, tell us about a time that you have handled a difficult customer. This is one question, a frequently asked question. I can say most of the airlines use this. So they can ask this. They can also ask questions like, how you will handle how you will handle a medical emergency on board. And they can even ask personal questions like, what is your favorite food, your favorite city. So all these questions are basically there to evaluate your communication skills, whether you are able to give answer in a short period of time. So basically you will be displayed a question. You will be given 10 seconds and then you have to record your answer in like 1 minute time. So 1 minute time is very short. So if you need to convey everything, then you need to organize your thought in a correct manner. So my tip over here for you guys will be, practice a lot of questions like this. So whenever questions are different for everyone, I am so sure about that. The question will not be same, but the pattern remains the same. So if you are practicing questions of that sort, what will happen is like you get similar questions and things will click in your mind, and you can use that structure to make your answers spontaneously. So you can make a structure, keep it ready, and when the question comes, you will not be surprised. You can give answers to that. Alright. Also need to keep in mind one more thing. In a cabin crew job, 2 things are important. The primus thing is your safety. That is the most important thing. Being a cabin crew, safety of the occupants of your aircraft is your primus responsibility. And your second responsibility is service. So whenever you are given an opportunity, you need to show that to your recruiter. You are a person who is service oriented. You are a person who is safety oriented. So whenever you are answering to any questions, make sure that you show a lot of empathy. You draft your answer in a way that it shows that you are an empathetic person. You are a person who is service oriented as well as safety oriented. So that will be my tip for this session of your interview. Now, then comes the second segment of your interview, your assessment, which will be a reading assessment, where you will be given a paragraph and you have to read it aloud. It seems a small task, but they are assessing a lot of crucial things over here, like your pronunciation, your communication, whether you are able to pronounce things correctly, articulate things correctly. Over here, the problem that people make is like, you have a paragraph which you have to finish in like 2 minutes. So they usually rush it. And when they rush it, that is not how one talk, right? So whenever there is a period, you have to stop over there. And whenever there is a comma, you have to give a small pause. All these things you have to keep in mind. And at a steady pace, you have to read it, not too fast, not too slow as well. And if at all you make any mistake, don't panic. Continue with your reading. Because you read, you panic, you stop, which is worse than ignoring your mistake and completing the paragraph, right? So please don't get bothered by small mistakes that you make. Most often that doesn't much impact your assessment. So don't stop over there. Continue with your reading, finish it, and then you have a better chance of getting hired or clearing this part of your interview process. All right. So make sure you're reading in a steady pace. And if at all you're making any mistake, ignore it and move on and finish your paragraph. So that was about the second segment. Now comes the third and the final segment of your virtual assessment, which will be a math or a cognitive test. This thing, you will be having multiple choices. You have to choose your answer from that. So don't fret by hearing maths and all. This is simple basic maths that you have to do, which you are so much accustomed from your school days. Nothing much fancy. Just need to calculate the percentage stuff of that sort. That is it. You can do it, but the problem over here is time. Most of the people complain like they can't complete that in the stipulated time. So what you can do is like read the question. If it is too difficult for you, you can skip it and go to the other question. Because getting stuck and losing all your time in one question is not a great strategy. Move on and complete the other question. Then you will be having a better chance of getting hired. So that is all about the 3 segments of your virtual assessment of Air India, which is called the HALLO Assessment. Now it is time for general tips that I always advise you with all the virtual assessments that I have made videos on. So in this also I'm telling you, whenever you are doing a virtual assessment, make sure you are sitting in a place where it is free of distractions, because it's going to take 25 minutes. But in case of Etihad and all, it's so much of time. This is still a short period of time, but you need a place which is well lit, free of all distractions. Also make sure like your internet connection is stable, which is also very crucial, and your grooming is very important. Don't think that I am not seeing the actual interviewer. Treat this as the actual interview only, because in interviews like Etihad and all, they will ask you to get up and go back so that they can see you whether you are groomed in a proper manner from head to toe. Other airlines don't usually do that, but still keep your grooming. You have to be well groomed like it is your actual interview only. And then whenever you're speaking, always speak confidently, always speak in a clear tone, always speak with clearly without much accent or faking your accent or something of that sort, making it difficult for the other person to understand. So speak correctly, articulate words in a proper manner. I always tell you this, what you require in aviation is not your fancy accent. All you need is correct communication with clarity, which make the other person able to understand what you're speaking. That is what is required. So this is all about your general tip, and I hope this will help you to clear your Air India HALLO assessment. And finally, I just want to tell you one thing. This assessment, this virtual screening test is not about aviation theory. You may be thinking that I don't have any experience as a cabin crew. How am I supposed to tell you how did I ever handle a difficult customer? So all these things, little of your imagination, and then you can just think, how will I ever handle such a sort of thing? Because whenever you are encountered with a thing in aviation, you need a lot of empathy, and you need to give importance to safety. So that is what is required. So make an answer in that way giving priority to your empathy, all sort of stuff will help you. So that is how it is. Even if you don't have any prior experience, still you can answer all these questions. So that is all about the video, guys. So stay tuned. I will be making a lot of other videos as well. And you can get in touch with me through my Instagram, or you can just leave me a mail, which I will reply to you if you have any specific questions or queries. And if you do want me to make a video on a particular airline, you can just comment it down. Virtual assessment or general interview tips and any sort of stuff, you can just comment, and I will be making video on that interview on that airline next. All right, that is it, guys. Bye bye and take care.